Hey, this episode was brought to you by Big Sky Resort Area Tax and the Big Sky Chamber of Commerce, who bring you Big Sky Community Week, October 6th through 10th. Stay tuned for a chat with the organizers about this year's festivities and see the full schedule at bigskycommunityweek.org. We're talking about menopause today with Dr. Maren Dunn, family doctor in Big Sky, and the woman that she described as her menopause sensei to Michelle. This is Dr. Linda Waring, an OBGYN in Bozeman. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Outlaw Beat.
Yes. Menopause is kind of having a moment right now, and actually this didn't come about because I was like, oh, let's talk about something everybody's talking about. It came about when Maren and I had finished a race, and I was talking to her about like going through all the stuff after breast cancer, and she was like, oh, I'm going through all the stuff right now too. And she was like, we should do a podcast. I know this great woman in Bozeman named Linda who knows everything about menopause, and here we are. Yeah. So,
awesome. And I am ignorant of much of it, and so I'm just here to learn today. I am looking forward to it, and hopefully I can share that information. And I am dressed as warmly as I possibly can be dressed here in this September time. I have a space heater down here on my legs, and I am miserable right now. But let's get into it, and let's talk about menopause.
Yes.
First of all, is it God's punishment for women having a longer lifespan? What is menopause?
I do not believe it's a punishment. No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's biological because we cannot be having children until we're 80 or our lifespan. So it's like it's biologically designed to end our reproduction.
Okay.
And really, that's all it is.
Yeah.
So,
menopause. Pause it.
Pause it.
Pausing.
It should be menopause. Stop. Like, honestly. Like, it should be stop. It's not coming back.
Right.
Like, you press play when something is paused, but, like, this isn't coming back. So that's a misnomer, which was probably done by a man anyway. Speaking of by a man, when he was going over the symptoms, he was like, he named, like, 4, maybe 5 things. And I was like, oh, just wait. I'm going to give you about 10 more really crazy random things that people get.
Go
like
for it.
The skin crawlies.
List some symptoms of menopause.
Well, I just want to add that every cell in your body has receptors for estrogen. So any cell in your body can be affected.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Go list some. I can add some really crazy ones.
Okay, cool. One, I haven't had this a lot, but it has happened a few times. Feels like something's crawling on me. Like maybe there's an ant or something on my leg and then a different part of my body. Sometimes I get that. That's a weird one. I don't know. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh. And it happened after I started taking tamoxifen, which shuts down all your estrogen, people.
Into the mic, Michelle.
Into the mic. So hot flashes, everybody knows about hot flashes, but I get this thing before a hot flash that feels like something very bad's about to happen. It's about 45 seconds before a hot flash, so I know it's coming, but I'm always like, where's the fire? And it's like an impending doom feeling. That's amazing. Okay. Love that multiple times a day, sometimes multiple times an hour.
Not loving this hot flash. This is, I am sweating.
Yeah, but imagine if it was internal, like coming from,
like you feel like you're burning from the inside out.
Yeah.
Okay. There's like this inferno and you just can't.
Yeah.
You just got to deal.
And in case the cameras don't pick this up, he does look uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I am glistening.
He's starting to glisten, yes. Actually, in the glisten, I understand.
What else?
Anxiety,
heart
depression,
yeah,
heart palpitations. For years, I had some like weird fluttery heart stuff. Remember, I'd wake up like, oh my God.
Extremely common.
Yeah, extremely common.
Sudden intolerance to like drinking alcohol. Like if I drink, I can't sleep. I get heart palpitations. What's wrong with me?
Yeah,
like vertigo, dry eyes,
brain fog. The brain fog was intense. Like can't finish sentences. Yeah. I'm thinking this thing. We just talked about a subject, and I'm like, what? I know.
It's the brain
maddening. Like not just sort of like I'm just foggy today. It's like I can't finish sentences.
Yeah.
And is this all due to a lack of estrogen? Why is this happening?
Every cell
biologically,
right?
That's causing all of these different symptoms.
So the worst symptoms are usually before you're actually menopausal. Menopause is just 1 year no menstrual period. So that's how we say you're postmenopausal.
That's all menopause means.
Yeah, so that's all it means. There's two things that's important. One, if you bleed after you're postmenopausal, have vaginal bleeding, you got to work that up seriously. Two, you can't get pregnant anymore. You don't need to address birth control. That's really the only reason it matters. Most of these symptoms are perimenopause and can start 5 to 10 years before actual menopause.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what people don't realize, because I cannot count the number of times I hear this. I'm still having periods. This couldn't be menopause. I'm still having periods. It couldn't be menopause. I want to say this. This is the most important thing from this talk. You can absolutely be having these symptoms and still having periods. Absolutely, because it's the hormonal chaos. It's the hormones up here, and now they're down here, and now they're up here, and now they're down there. And especially our brains hate that. And another big symptoms that I must add is that I see people most commonly for is weight gain. It's like the first thing that happens is people start to gain weight, visceral fat in their abdomen, and then joint pain. I see so many women with frozen shoulder who are going through all these treatments, and really, honestly, estrogen fixes it.
I know. I want it back so
like
badly.
they can't run anymore. I have a patient who had terrible hip pain. We started talking. I was like, we should probably not go to the orthopedist yet.
They get sent to rheumatologists for rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh my gosh.
Every specialty sees women in menopause and perimenopause, and they don't recognize it often.
Yeah. Right.
Honestly, like anxiety, depression, they get put on an antidepressant. Orthopedics, they get injections. Sometimes they get surgery. They get physical therapy.
When in fact they should be adding estrogen to their
just to stabilize that. Yes, to stabilize that up and down. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, saggy skin. Yep.
Oh yeah.
We're still listing symptoms.
I'm sorry.
You could probably spend the whole time.
GI issues. GI issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I went, I think, 4 days without going to the bathroom recently.
Your microbiome is very sensitive to estrogen, and there's certain strains that actually just completely die off, and your gut is your second brain.
Yeah.
And it's your well-being. It's your happiness, it's your joy, it's your immune system. It's very important. And we haven't even started talking about vaginal dryness and sexual issues.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll get to it. Hold on. Let me ask. Okay, so
it's a trip.
We'll keep talking about all the other symptoms.
Just be glad you're just hot over there.
I don't have a simulator for that, unfortunately.
Right. So full disclosure for our listeners that don't know, I have been through breast cancer, and my breast cancer was estrogen progesterone receptor positive, meaning that the cancer cells I had receptors on them for estrogen and progesterone. And so what doctors do to treat it is they give you medications that shut down estrogen production in your body. Some aromatase inhibitors shut down the estrogen production, and what I'm taking, tamoxifen, it blocks the receptors. So the cells that really want estrogen are not getting them, and I'm aware of that. But yes, so a lot of women are able to take progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, all that stuff that works so beautifully together throughout menopause. But then there's some women that are left out of that conversation.
That's prescribed to them?
Prescribed to them by wonderful people like Linda. But then there are people that are left out of that conversation, and you're unable to deal with these symptoms. You are literally just told, well, take antidepressants, luckily I'm not, I'm just taking a bunch of fish oil right now, hoping for the best. I run all the time. That keeps me happy. Aromatase inhibitors actually shut my joints down so much I had to stop running. So luckily tamoxifen's allowing me to run. But there are drugs. I'm sure you've seen Super Bowl ads for things like Veoza. Some people don't like it. I like it because hot flashes were ruining my quality of life. So I have definitely enjoyed Veoza. It has shut down my hot flashes.
Yeah.
And I have no estrogen. However, there are people out there that need to address their low estrogen, and that is more what this podcast is about. But I also don't want to leave some people out, because sometimes I feel left out of the conversation in menopause. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
absolutely.
I'm so glad that you're.
I think that women who've had a history of breast cancer, who are probably suffering the most, I think that is going to garner a lot of attention in the next few years, because there are actually a lot of studies that show that even with breast cancer, I'm probably going to get tons of heat for this one, but look it up. There's tons.
I've listened to podcasts.
There's tons of studies that show that women who have had breast cancer, who are given estrogen after, of course, with a discussion of risks and benefits and quality of life, but quality of life matters. I always tell my patients, you're not just your breasts.
Right.
There's more to you than your breasts. And breast cancer isn't even the leading cause of death of women. It's heart disease.
Yeah.
I digress. But, and there's a brain fog moment. No.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's lots of studies that show that women who have had a history of breast cancer, who get put on hormone replacement therapy and estrogen therapy afterwards do not have an increased risk of recurrence.
I know that I've listened.
So that's
to
that's very interesting. I think that's the future. We are definitely not there now.
We're
We're just barely getting to treating people. We're still not treating. It is estimated that 4% of people who would benefit from hormone replacement therapy are actually, that's all we're treating is 4% of the people who should be on it and who would benefit.
Yeah.
That's
my dad is a family practice doctor like Maren, and years ago, and you've heard him talk about this, years ago, what was it, like 20 years ago when he was reading all this stuff about bioidentical hormones. And he started prescribing it to his patients and got patients from Georgia. He lives in Alabama. He started to get patients from Egypt. He started to get patients from all over the world that would come to see him because he was saving their lives. And all the OBs in town blocked him out. They were sending him awful letters and stuff like, what you're doing is totally unethical. He was having to lie on like medical exams and stuff like that. And now all of a sudden, I'm sure they're like, we're sorry.
Why the resistance to the hormone therapy?
It's the Women's Health Initiative. It is. I'm going to go on
Bad
record.
studies.
It's the worst thing. It was it was funded by the National Health Institute, so it was federally funded, and it was the worst thing that's ever happened to women. The investigators, and we have since teased out all the data. It was just completely misinterpreted on almost every front, but that damage cannot be undone. People are scared to get breast cancer.
It was a study that said that if you take hormones, you have a higher likelihood of getting breast cancer, but the data was totally wrong.
Yes, and they stopped the study early because of that. Mm-hmm. They said, whoa, and this has never happened, but they had a big press conference. It was the #1 story on Dateline or whatever in 2002. They had like a press conference. They're like, whoa, we're stopping the study. Hormone replacement therapy causes breast cancer. And then immediately people were like, stopped off estrogen. And then doctors like myself and Maren, who trained in the early 2000s, I went to medical school in 2001. We were trained that hormones cause cancer. And so there is a giant...
And heart disease.
And
everything.
Okay, yes. They cause breast cancer, strokes, and blood clots. Yep. Don't give it. And so we were all just taught this. And so there's just doctors, most doctors are not taught to do hormone replacement. And so that's the problem. And so people are kind of desperate this is probably why your father had all these people traveling, because people are desperate to get hormones because they feel better and their quality of life is better.
Started sleeping again, their skin fluffed up. He developed creams that had like progesterone and estriol in them, or it was estriol,
It is without a doubt prevents, if you start it. So the Women's Health Initiative, this study had all these women, and the average age was 63. Some of them were as old as 79. 70% of them were overweight. They weren't healthy women. 50% of them were smokers. And then they introduced oral Premarin, which is not even what we use now.
Yeah.
They introduced oral Premarin and then this other hormone called medroxyprogesterone acetate, which is a progestin, which you have to take if you have you have to take some sort of progestin. You can't just have plain estrogen if you have a uterus. And so then they stopped the study because they said it caused breast cancer, and it doesn't. And so
and there's no mechanism by which they can undo that damage.
Well,
they have.
I mean, there's like people chirping. There are. Yeah. There's people chirping. There's voices. There's
That's why we're doing this podcast.
That's why we're here.
Is because
honestly, it's why we're here.
There is so much now study being done that refutes that Women's Health Initiative. And
in addition to this being a complete disaster for women's health, because people were taken off their hormones.
Generation of women who suffered.
And also by taking people off hormone replacement therapy, estrogen reduces your risk of cardiovascular disease by 50%.
Yeah.
That's
And
huge.
it reduces your risk of getting osteoporosis by 50%. Now, if you already have cardiovascular disease, so then it's not an intervention then. It doesn't treat cardiovascular disease. It doesn't treat osteoporosis. The whole goal is to get people on hormone replacement therapy when they're symptomatic, which is perimenopause, before menopause, when they're still having periods. And I would argue keep them on it forever. And I think that
Forever. Just
forever.
never stop.
Forever.
Why
Okay.
would you stop? Yeah.
My
Why-
mom's still taking all of it.
Why
Yeah.
in God's great earth would you stop something that like prevents you? Like it's so, and there's lots of studies that show.
Speaking of God,
Yeah.
I have questions. I have questions.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
keep
So
going.
just, but I mean, so when we have lots of data that
Disease
shows.
prevention. I
Yes.
think that's one of
Yeah.
the terms that she
And
uses a
and
lot,
that's
which
not
is
what
accurate.
and that's not what our country, what our healthcare is built on. It's built on sick care and it's built on pharmaceuticals to treat disease once you get them. But if you can prevent disease, that's way better.
Yeah.
And once, so we have lots of data that shows once you stop estrogen, your risk of heart disease then starts to rise. So it's like you're just kicking the can if you stop. Let's say someone comes up with 60. Okay, so now instead of running out of hormones at 50, we'll run out of hormones at 60. And I bet if we like mapped the world, we would see that then, yes, the diseases will start to show up then, 10, 20 years after those hormones are. So why would we stop them?
Yeah.
Women who are in nursing homes, we live longer, but we don't live well longer, and we're going to start.
And
we're
it
going to start.
Delays perimenopause. It delays menopause.
Doesn't delay it.
No.
It
just
doesn't.
makes it nice and easy.
Not as bad.
It just and
Lessens
it
the symptoms and
decreases some
severity.
of the terrible things that happen to your body with those fluctuations and then the drop in estrogen. All your vasculature is sensitive to estrogen. Estrogen makes your blood vessels soft and supple, and all of us. It makes us all soft and strong. That's why men age so much better. You guys like have like nice tight skin, and we're just like wrinkled bags of sacks of flour
with brainlessness
just
and
grumpy.
dry vaginas.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
We're talking
I have
about every
questions.
area of a female
Yeah.
body that's affected by
Should
it.
just be
And-
bathing in
But
estrogen
the
every
point
day.
is that perimenopause is this time that's a nightmare, and historically and even socially speaking, like in our communities, women are just thought to be crazy at that time. Well, they're not.
No.
Maybe it's because they have their kids at home and they have this and they're trying to do all these things. Actually, they're not sleeping. They eat and they feel terrible. They're gaining weight. They have zero energy to go exercise, which might be their saving grace most of the time. Plus, their joints hurt.
Joints hurt.
So tell me one person
Can't poop.
that feels
I mean,
good then,
Yeah.
right? And so when we start to have these conversations, then you start to tell them, well, gosh, all we need to do is kind of balance this thing that's happening to you. I love the hormonal chaos word that you use because that's what it is. It says hormonal chaos. Well, we're not talking about huge high doses of hormones that are
much lower than you have when you're 30.
yes, tiny doses and not contraceptive doses. That's
No.
the other key point. Those make people feel worse. Don't go on birth control.
It's a
when
different
you're in
estrogen.
perimenopause.
It's no good. It's a different estrogen.
A lot of doctors still put people
I
on
hate
birth
that.
control.
It's like that is my pet peeve.
Yeah.
It is. I'm going to say it. It's my pet peeve. I do not ever put people on birth control pills. It's ethanol estradiol, and it's complete crap.
Yeah.
And it
My dad gets
compounds
mad,
problem.
too.
Yeah.
And your heater right now is giving me the glistening.
Oh,
I'm
Are
on
you bad?
Viosa, you guys. I'm on Viosa. Nothing can touch me.
Nothing can touch you.
Nothing can touch me.
Having
My
a
liver
hard
may
time
go
thinking
tanking.
straight.
We're
here.
on estrogen, but
Yeah, we're on estrogen,
this is just straight up high.
This is just
Yeah.
warm. It's
You
just
know,
like
I
sitting
do
for
I do
reason.
hot Pilates and hot yoga, so I kind
That's so good.
of I bask
Sweating.
in heat.
we
I love
talked about
It's good stuff.
the hormones. What are some like activities? What are some things that women can do to help with the symptoms other than the hormone? Like I know that Michelle has started drinking diet sodas.
No, she has
That
not.
makes her
Guys,
feel better.
I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what happened to me. I used to be so healthy.
Please don't do it.
I don't
Drink
even care.
regular.
I don't care.
Drink regular.
Add those chemicals to your body. You're
Ah.
gonna get cancer somewhere else.
Okay, so here's my plug. I mean, my plug is preventative. Once you're 100 pounds overweight and have heart disease, diabetes, kidney failure, and osteoporosis, you cannot undo that, right?
No.
Like prevent it.
No.
Yeah.
So healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, and be active.
Totally.
That's you can do all the magical pills and patches in the world, and if you are mainlining crap at all times and do not leave your couch, there's nothing we can do about that.
Right.
You know, I mean, and she has this great list of supplements that she recommends. Yeah. And every time I look at that, I think to myself, so much of this is in our daily lives if we put it there.
Yes.
You know, our vitamin D, our calcium, especially in Montana. You need vitamin D. You're going to be deficient if you don't take it. It's dark.
Yeah.
It's cold. Not rocket science, right?
Yeah.
But then thinking about the gut, well, there's different probiotics actually for women who have lower estrogen levels.
Because it targets the bacteria that
so take care of yourself. Get your high protein. You're not going to maintain your muscle mass without estrogen and progesterone and potentially testosterone. You have to give you got to have protein. You got to have the building blocks. So women need higher amounts
of
dose protein.
Feels like
it's a massive dose. It seems like a lot some days. Like some days I can't even get it all in.
No.
But
you should ask Joe. I'm like scooping things in all of our meals.
She doesn't just bring up this list of things because she's made it up. It's because she's read it in the literature. She's followed the scientific evidence that says this is what matters and this is how women feel better.
Right. And what are some things, I know, because Joe tries to help me, what are some things that men can do to help women through this time in their lives? Because even I have a lot of friends on bioidenticals and whatever. It's not perfection, right? There's help. You guys, I see your glowing skin. I'm a little jealous. But no, there is help. But what can husbands do? What can men do?
Other than a hot flash simulator suit.
Right, which is...
Short of that.
Well, I just want to say one thing. The term bioidentical is not even necessary anymore. I mean, I have been trained now from this woman how we use hormones. Bioidentical is sort of neither here nor there anymore.
It's the word it's the buzzword that makes people feel warm and fuzzy and safer taking it. Mm-hmm. So it's gimmicky, but it's it just
means the pharmaceutical versions that aren't bioidentical or aren't compounded necessarily are just as good.
They're the same. They're all an estradiol molecule that's the same as our estradiol molecule that we made that goes away. So we say bioidentical, but I prescribe it and a pharmaceutical company makes it.
Yeah, and the irony is that before
exactly
the same thing.
Yes,
it's the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Before I was a teacher, I was a bioidentical pharmaceutical rep. No kidding. Anyway.
Yes.
And
so
I
know. It's a marketing word.
It is. Yeah.
So what can husbands or partners or men
do to support?
I guess what they can do is learn about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most important thing. Is learn about it, and the more they know, the more they understand what's happening to you from a physiologic level, the more understanding they'll be. They won't just be like, "Whoa, she's crazy."
Yeah, I think that the lack of understanding.
She's eating well and she's exercising and she's still gaining weight. Yeah. What's wrong with her? Mm-hmm. Well, it's probably nothing wrong with her. She needs the support to say, "Hey, go to your doctor and talk about this."
Why is she
Why are your
into
joints
SpongeBob?
hurting? Why are you complaining all the time?
Or I think
why doesn't she want to have sex anymore? Where's her libido? Why does she complain that it hurts all the time?
Yeah.
It's the elephant in the room. Something needs to be normalized as opposed to kind of.
And men don't even really understand periods. Have you ever seen I watched this Instagram reel once. They asked all these men around this park, how do women pee when they're on their period and they have a tampon? And they're like, oh, that's a really.
They sweat it out.
I think they put. I think you have to take it out. I really don't think.
Anatomically speaking, they're like, I don't.
I think that
yeah.
I think it goes both ways. The more we understand about each other, the better.
Yeah. And I think that younger generations are getting better. Yeah. Like our son, the girlfriends that he's had, he would buy them tampons if they needed it. He was
great.
They're understanding. I think younger women are becoming more vocal about what they're going through in moments like that. But I have seen friends on the brink of divorce during perimenopause.
Oh, it's the highest rated divorce.
Yeah.
And suicide is 45 to 55.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
in women, suicide in women.
See, we can treat that too.
Yeah. They get divorced and they lose their minds.
I think the first thing is recognition, though. This is not who I married, and it isn't because something's wrong with her. It's because she's going through this change in her life that she has zero control over, which is even more frustrating. So then you compound these symptoms that someone's living with the frustration of living with them and trying to stay in her world and take care of her kids and husbands and etc. And you can't.
And they feel like
and look cute.
And they feel like
you
garbage.
Can't. Yeah, you feel like garbage. You're not sleeping.
I call it reverse puberty.
It is reverse puberty.
There are some moments where I'm like, this feels familiar.
Remember puberty?
I do.
Yeah, it's like the backwards
Reverse
of that.
puberty.
It's
Yeah,
reverse
right.
puberty, but
Yeah,
worse
like
because you're not supposed to talk about it. You're not supposed to know what to do about it.
Yeah.
I have to tell you though that I now feel like I'm aging backwards. Like it's a liberation to actually feel this good, and to have someone who says, "Maren, we're going to make you feel like fire." I remember the first time she said that, I was like, "What's that? What's fire?
I have an idea of
I
what
want to
that
know
feels
what fire." But you know what? Your wives, your girlfriends, your sisters, your females in your life should get to feel like fire, and so should you. Right? And so if we talk about it more, we're going to hear more about it. You're going to start recognizing it more. And then all of us, I'm even a healing practice doctor, I now treat this.
Good.
Knowledge is so empowering.
Yeah.
It is. The fear of the unknown is always so much bigger than the fear should be. When you know, it's not as scary.
Hey guys, we're going to take a quick break from the Menopause chat, and we're going to talk about Community Week. I'm with Liz McFadden and Jenny Christensen, who lead Big Sky Community Week, brought to you by Resort Tax and Big Sky Chamber.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to you about this upcoming Community Week, October 6th through 10th, consisting of a variety of in-person and virtual activities. What were some of the standout events from last year?
Everything? No.
You can't answer everything.
We can't. There's a lot of events every year, but I would say the ones that stuck out last year, tried and true favorites, maybe the state of the community. It's kind of a quick hit conversation with community leaders. It's the community's chance to learn a little about a lot. We personally always like the community appreciation celebration because who doesn't love a party?
And I also think that the Great Pumpkin Giveaway is a great addition too that we brought last year to Community Week, and it will be again this year on Friday. So it kind of ends off Community Week, and that's to support the food bank.
What are some of the events that people can look forward to October 6th through 10th?
One thing that we're doing different this year that we're excited about, so the workouts, a lot of folks are familiar with those, but this year we've brought together a variety of fitness providers. So there's going to be workouts all across town brought to you by Moving Mountains, Big Sky Fitness Fusion, Santosha, and Base. So kind of mixing it up on that front, which is really exciting.
And I think I'm looking forward to the community cocktails, which is family friendly. It's going to be at the Big Sky Center for the Arts. And they're going to have the Arts Venture Tent and some fun activities for kids. So it's more of a group thing rather than just adults.
It seems like you're appealing to a lot of different groups. Who would you like to see come out for this year's Community Week that historically you have a hard time getting to attend?
Really, anyone that's never attended a Community Week event before, it's free. It's open to everyone. The more people we see, the better. We try to make it as casual and as approachable as possible. So don't be shy. Come out and hang out with us that first week of October.
And I would say that if you have been to a Community Week event, bring somebody with you who has never been, because then, from anything from the coffee to a workout to the celebration, we want to see everybody there.
Okay, so plus ones are allowed.
Yes. Or plus twos or threes. We don't care.
Liz and Jenny, thank you guys so much for joining me here.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon, Big Sky.
Thanks again to Liz and Jenny. I should also mention there will be prizes, okay? Gift cards to local businesses. And don't sleep on the BizRad Board and Joint County Commission meeting. Hear from your elected officials. Okay, back to Menopause. All right, I can't wait.
I don't know what this is. He never tells me.
Before I let you go, I want to do the Dunn Marmot game.
Okay.
We're Outlaw Beat, but we're still doing the Dunn Marmot game. We're married to it.
Okay.
This one's called Miracle Drug, okay?
Do I read something?
I have written a commercial. We have established that menopause is permanent. Menopause doesn't not take ever, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those eggs are gone. Those eggs are done.
In this ad in this commercial, that might not be the case.
Okay,
so we all have scripts here. We're going to read this commercial. I'm going to pipe in a little bit of music over it. I'm going to be the announcer, and you guys all have parts. All right, here we go. So this is interior living room, evening, little party. Maren and Linda greet Michelle as she enters. All of you are in your late 50s.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
How dare.
Hey, Michelle, ready for bunko night?
I got your Aperol spritz right here.
You really pigeonholed us. Actually, I may hold off. Tonight, I'm playing Bunko for 2. Bunko for 2. Okay.
You're pregnant?
That's not right. You're 60. How?
From the makers of Ozempic, it's Menopause, the miracle drug that says, hey, Mother Nature, maybe we'll let the women decide when she's done with her menstrual cycle.
I've already started decorating the nursery. Lots of doilies.
But you and Gary are on a fixed income, and you live in an RV.
Yeah, you spend half the year in an above garage apartment so you can be close to grandkids.
Yep. And I can't wait for them to watch me nurse their new uncle.
Menopause, your next pickleball partner may be inside you right now.
That was nice, Joe.
So,
No.
Lovely.
That was cute.
Lovely.
but let's talk about
Sorry, I just attacked myself.
This obviously would be a terrible thing, right?
Yes.
This drug that would allow women not to go through menopause. There's a biological reason that it happens. So it's
No
not
more
a thing
babies.
that we shouldn't that we should fight or that we should try to do away with. It is a fact of life, and now it's a matter of just getting through it. This is my understanding as I sweat in this.
Well, you can get through
coveralls.
it well, and you can prevent diseases downstream. And 200 years ago they didn't have this little invention. You can give you back estrogen, but men, there's at least 10 FDA approved products for men if their testosterone starts to even dip a little bit. It's a national emergency. So we don't have to run out, and I think that in the future we will not. We'll just we're going to age much better than we have in the past.
Yeah.
But we will not have babies.
Not
That
baby.
is not the goal.
I will not unpause. And then a few things before we head out. Some things that you do. Say I'm a patient and I come to you. I'm in my early 40s, right? I'm in my early 40s and I'm having some of these symptoms. I'm having, in my early 40s before any of this crap, I was having some heart palpitations occasionally. I was having some dry skin and just some random stuff I couldn't, like anxiety or whatever. Insomnia. That was one of my good ones. That stuff. What would you do? You test my blood, right?
No.
Really?
Wrong.
So you just
No,
treat
because
it.
it's chaos, right? So you're getting one day, one snapshot in time. That's the other person I get referred to me all the time where, they're having all these symptoms, but I tested their estrogen. It's normal range.
Right.
And so they must not need hormones. They're having periods and their estrogen is in the normal range. Case closed, right? Wrong. It's symptoms. Symptoms. If you're having those symptoms, that's what it is. I mean, you gotta do your due diligence and rule out other things, thyroid, et cetera, et cetera. But everything else excluded, give them estrogen. Give them an estrogen patch. Give them bioidentical, estradiol. If they have a uterus, give them some sort of progestin to protect the uterine lining. I like Prometrium, which is micronized progesterone, which is
I took that for
bioidentical.
years.
It's
So
wonderful. It makes you sleep like
I
a
slept
baby.
like a baby with it. Yeah.
You have to be a little careful because this is before you're menopausal, right? You can still get pregnant. So if they need birth control addressed, you have to use a different progestin. But I put people on hormones all the time.
Okay.
And I do not test their hormones, and I do not care if they're having periods. I care about their symptoms.
Because there's many people that have gone in to get blood work and they're told their blood work is fine, so then they leave and just stick with the crappy symptoms for the longest time until they're in menopause. But what I've been told and what we are supposed to do as women, if you can, is start as soon as you feel like your estrogen is dropping, as soon as you start to get any of these symptoms. Somebody asked me the other day, they were like, when should I start all this? And I'm like, yesterday. right now.
Right.
And there's multiple different doses. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it, is there's tiny doses up to higher doses. So it's something that as you progress through and as your, ovaries continue to quit, that we just kind of ratchet it up as you go, if need be, based on your symptoms.
Yeah.
Not based on
It's super individualized care. You got to take into
Absolutely.
account family history, personal history, personal preferences, ideals, symptoms. So for right now, we're treating people that have symptoms. I think the future is going to be disease prevention, and we'll just go on it and stay on it, and we won't have to ever run out of our hormones. And we'll reduce cardiovascular disease by 50%, and that's the number one killer of women. And reduce osteoporosis. And I know there's really good studies going on right now about what it does for your brain, and prevention of Alzheimer's, because this is what kills us. Alzheimer's, okay, falls and breaks of our hips, cardiovascular disease, number one. And so if you can mitigate all those things, UTIs, vaginal estrogen almost completely wipes out bladder infections. We're just going to live better. We really are.
Yes.
We're going to live better.
Yes.
So,
On behalf of all the husbands out there,
Yeah.
thank you for helping to
And if
make
people
the
need to
wives'
find
lives
either
better.
one of
Yeah.
you, we've got Maren Dunn in Big Sky. And then we've got Linda, what is your last name?
Waring.
Here at Bozeman Health.
Yep.
So, yeah. Hopefully your phones don't go off the hook. But yes, thank you guys so much
You're so welcome.
for helping people out in this community.
Yep, you're welcome.
We need it.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to turn this heater off.
Yes, please do.
For the
Strip,
love
Joe.
of
Strip.
God,
Take it all
The
off.
thing is, I know, we could talk for 12 hours on that. The thing about hot flashes, though.
Oh, we could talk.